This is part 2 of the Chapter 21 recorded lectures, and I'm starting back at slide 64 because we had left off with the supergroup Amoebozoa. So the two examples that you need to know for the supergroup Amoebozoa is this supergroup includes amoeba, which we are going to see a living amoeba in lab, and then also it includes the slime molds. So let's talk about the amoeba. We already went over this, but the amoeba move and feed by pseudopods. There's an image of an amoeba that like it would look in lab under the light microscopes. Slime molds are important decomposers. There are two types, plasmodial and cellular slime molds. The plasmodial slime molds are described as a slug-like cytoplasmic mass, whereas cellular slime molds exist as individual amoeboid cells. So both of these definitions that I've just given you, the one for plasmodial slime molds and the one for cellular slime molds, are word for word from the quiz, which means you may see them on the exam. Okay, so there's the slime mold life cycle, but we're going to move on to the last supergroup, which is the Opisthokonta. The most important thing about the Opisthokonta is that the protozoans in this supergroup share the supergroup with animals and fungi. That tells you a few things. It tells you that animals and fungi are more closely related than either one of them is to a plant. The example from this group is called a choanoflagellate, which looks a lot like the cells that we're going to see when we learn about animals. Our first animal that we learn about is a sponge, and the sponge has cells called choanocytes. Choanoflagellates are very similar to those cells. So there's, it's thought that there's a relationship there. Okay, so supergroup Opisthokonta is shared with animals and fungi, and our example are the choanoflagellates, and this is what they look like. They have a flagella, and they sort of filter their food from the water. Okay, so that's it. It was just a few minutes for this recorded lecture. Make sure that you've watched both of these lectures and that you take notes and be prepared for an open note quiz.